And what I could do is I could look at someone and I really could see inside of them. I could see their hurt. I could see their pain. I could see they wanted to be here. They didn't want to be here. That was not their talent. This is their talent, what they were really good at. And I realized I needed to take that and use my writing and use my platform. And what I knew was how to help people get to the center of who they are and put them in the right place. So I call myself the Dream Pollinator, and I got here by my own journey. But during that journey, I realized that I had really helped over 500 people in less than 5 years get to their next level.
Welcome to the Audacious Living Podcast, hosted by my man, Audley Stevenson, the Odd Man. He'll unpack wisdom and insights from a cross-section of top quality performers in business, media, sports, entertainment, and lifestyle to uncover key elements to help you live your best audacious life ever. So without further ado, here is the Odd Man.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. This is Audley Stevenson, and you got it locked into the Audacious Living Podcast, hands down the most audacious podcast the internet has to offer. I can promise you can scour the web and you will not find a podcast more audacious than this one. As always, I appreciate you for being here as we continue our ongoing goal of helping our listeners live their best audacious lives ever. As always, I encourage you to connect with us through our social media channels. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook under the handle The Audacious Pod. And if you are watching this episode on YouTube, then you know you can tap that bell down below and stay subscribed to our channel. Now, we're going to be talking about the importance of dreams on this edition of the Audacious Living Podcast and why it's so important for us as individuals to dream as big as we possibly can. You know, when we go after or chase our dreams, you know, we're following our heart's desire or what God has imprinted in our hearts. And it's one thing to chase our dreams, but it's an entirely different thing to know what that dream is. There's some work involved there, and sometimes there's some help that's needed. And today's episode, we've got the perfect person that can join us and get us on that path of discovering our dreams. Debby Kruszewski is a certified dream manager, life and mediation and energy coach, and as a survivor of crushed dreams herself, she knows exactly what it means to not give up on her dreams, and she now uses that as fuel to help others achieve theirs as a self-described dream pollinator. I absolutely love the way Debby has followed her dream and made it her mission to help others identify theirs, and so without any further ado, I just love to get into this conversation with Debby, aka the Dream Pollinator. I assure you will take a lot of great nuggets from this. Enjoy. Hey, Debby, thank you for joining me here on the Audacious Living Podcast. It's such a pleasure to sit down and have a chat with you like this.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on. I am honored.
Thank you. Well, I tell you, we spend so much time on this podcast talking about the big, bold, audacious things that we can do to live a better life and live that best audacious life that we talk about. And I think it fits nicely into the work that you do because you are a dream pollinator. And so being able to help people achieve and meet their dreams fits in nicely to what we do on this podcast. I think it only makes sense to have this kind of discussion.
Yes, thank you so much.
So I thought maybe as a starting point, if you can kind of give some background as to how you landed on the work that you do now.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes. I call myself a dream pollinator because I believe in following the dreams that are in your hearts. I came to this place in my career because I was never fulfilling what I thought was my destiny. I never was fulfilling what my inside voice was telling me. I listened to what society told me. I listened to what everybody around me was doing. And when all my friends were like, we're going to become school teachers, I'm like, gosh, no, I don't want to do that. I decided that I wanted to become a dancer. And when I went to school, when I was ready to go to college, we had a last minute family kind of drama. So I was asked to stay home, and I went to the local college, which was great. But you had a choice. You basically were going to be a school teacher, or you were going to be an accountant. And I didn't want to do either, but I chose business because I felt like no matter what I was doing was going to be a business. If my life was going to be creative, or if it was going to be in a job, you had to know business.
Right.
So I focused on operations. I went into a job right away as an account executive, and every level of my career, I just felt I was not in the right place. This didn't make any sense to me. And you talk to you have the people around you that are like, oh no, you should go further in your career. You should get to the next level, and money's going to be your answer, and money's just not the answer.
Wow.
Yeah, and I kept going up, and I'm like, this is worse than where I was. Like, it must be the next level. So I went up again, and I got all the way to the top to a C-level job. And I'm like, well, this just could not be worse. And where am I going to go? Like, what is further from here to move lateral, to go the same thing? And what I really would be doing was just chasing dollar signs, which made me more miserable than anything. So I listened to my heart, and I said, God, tell me what I should do. And he said, I think you should leave. He didn't say, I think. He said, you need to leave, and I want you to start writing. So I started writing. I wrote 3 books in 9 months. And, again, I still was listening, but I didn't continue to listen. I continued to tell God what I wanted to do. And a lot of those answers were out of fear. And it was, again, the people around you were like, no, but you're not going to make money writing books. So you need to do something. You need to get a job. You need to focus on something else. I focused on consulting because I felt like that's what I knew what to do, helping businesses. I ended up collaborating with a bunch of people in my community, and we started a non-for-profit for young adults to get them into a formation program to build them closer to Christ and bring it into their world. Right. And we did a wonderful job. I'm so proud of everybody that was on that project and all the work that we had done. But unfortunately, we had 25 missionaries in the Bronx that were from all over the world. Right. And in March of 2020, their countries were calling and asking for them to come home. Understood. Yeah. So my world came crashing down. I tried to work on a few other projects, but I really needed to dig a little deeper and go back to, well, God wanted me to write. So I started writing again. I didn't feel good. And then I started to dig in deeper of who I was and what I really needed to do. And I realized when he said writing, yes, getting my work out there, but it all starts with writing it down. Yes. And going through my journey, really looking back at all the good work that I really liked out of everything, because there is good and bad, and wanted to focus on all the good things. And what I realized I was doing in all these jobs was I saw the potential in all the people that worked for me. And I realized where we flourished and where we failed as an organization, and what I could do for people. And what I could do is I could look at someone and I really could see inside of them. I could see their hurt. I could see their pain. I could see they wanted to be here. They didn't want to be here. That was not their talent. This is their talent, what they were really good at. And I realized I needed to take that and use my writing and use my platform. And what I knew was how to help people get to the center of who they are and put them in the right place. So I call myself the Dream Pollinator, and I got here by my own journey. But during that journey, I realized that I had really helped over 500 people in less than 5 years get to their next level. And so now when that is a lot.
That's a lot of people, a lot of dreams.
When the first program that I started, it was 25 people. And I said, you have a year. You're all on probation of some sort. You have 1 year. I'm going to give you every tool you need. I'm going to give you all the resources. These people are going to help you. I will help you. I will work one-on-one with you. And it was like 6 months. They were all in their next place. And it's like, well, let's keep going. And then I went to another organization, and I had a larger group, and, putting people in places that is right for them, even if it's not in the job that I'm at, that they belong to.
Yes.
No, this is not for you. This is where you should be. Let me get you there. And, that appreciation, and I think that giving back, and that's why I call pollination. First of all, because my name in Hebrew means the bee seeker.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I play off all these bee terms, but it's just doing the impossible, wanting all the people around you to be successful. And just all you are is just sprinkling what you have to give to everybody and let them flourish and bloom. So I love that. I enjoy it. I have some really fabulous stories of people that have just were in the wrong place and were like, I would have stayed here. And it ruins relationships. It ruins your health, your spirituality. And I just love to help people find their dreams, which is really, to me, meaning listening to what God put in your heart and to find it, to believe in it, to find it, and really go for it, and just watch what your plan for your life is. It's amazing.
That's so awesome to hear. And I love, and so thank you for sharing your story, Debbie, because I think it's always important to sort of get an idea of sort of what the journey looked like at the very beginning. Oftentimes when you get to the other side of it, it's very different than when it started. So to hear you move from corporate to leave the corporate world after doing these progressions in your career and realizing that it's not about money, as much as I think it was important for you to go through that, because it became clear for you what it is that you didn't want, right?
Yeah. And I actually had a conversation with somebody the other day exactly about that, where I always felt I was in the wrong place since birth. Like, I'm not like saying like I don't belong to my parents. I'm saying like I didn't have, like, I just was like, this isn't where I'm supposed to be. Like there's something more, like there's something better. There's something else. And I've always had that. And I never, like I said about all my friends wanted to be school teachers, I'm like, I want no part of that, but I didn't realize that what I am doing is teaching, it is coaching. I just saw a teacher and it's sitting in a classroom, and I'm like, no, that's not for me. I just always felt like I was in the wrong, conversations, so to say, or the wrong situations. But if I was given this talent when I was so young, I look at it as we're always leveling up, right? Like we're always getting ourselves to be the best version, to get ourselves to God. So what I say is level up. Like I would have been here, and I would have just been there by myself, and it would have just been me and my ego together, and the ego would have taken over. And instead of not knowing how to bring people up with me, I would just be talking down to people. And whenever I saw myself in that light, I realized like, this is disgusting and I don't like it at all. But now it's okay. I know that I'm here, and, I know how to bring these people up.
Yes.
And we always want to bring each other up, because the more we bring each other up, the more that we flourish. And it is that energy that's in the air of like,
absolutely,
I just saw somebody, what, like you did that, like you left, you're crazy, but I'm living in the crazy. And I get so many people that, think that I'm this millionaire, and, I just overnight, and I'm like, I will show you my bank account and assure you that that is not the case. But, I'm taken care of, and, I'm doing the work. It's, once you realize that it's not chasing dollar signs, it's putting smiles on people's faces, because they are living in their true potential, and really their heart is so full. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the dollar signs are. It really doesn't.
I would imagine you get such a charge from helping people. You talk about 500 people, that you get such a charge from that because, at the end of the day, you may be helping, but they're doing it themselves. And not only they're doing it themselves, they're putting themselves in a better place because of their own actions. That's got to feel so good, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And I just wish that we could see our own potential. And that is the mask that I like to help people take off, is to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be happy and be like, wow, that's me. That's beautiful. And I can conquer the world just because
yes,
I was brought here for a reason. And my smile is like my superpower.
Yes.
And you don't really need more than that. And if you just leave your day with, I'm just going to put a smile on, and that's going to change conversations. That's going to change reactions. That's going to change my course of my day.
Yes.
And that smile is just one tiny piece, that mustard seed of faith in yourself that will flourish, and you will have the best day the moment you decide to just smile throughout.
You don't have to sell me twice on smiling. I'm with you wholeheartedly.
You have a great smile, and I love it.
Thank you. I wonder if you can sort of talk about the process that you go through to help people achieve their dreams. I mean, so for example, Debbie, I come to you and I say, "Hey, Debbie, I can't make my dreams. What do I got to do?" Like, what are you telling me? What's my first steps?
Well, I love to sit with people at least for an hour and just, like, most times people just need to talk. They need to flush it out. They need somebody that's going to unconditionally listen. And, you really can learn a lot in just like the first 5 minutes of how they approach the conversation. Yes. Like, like just the emotions and everything is just really just putting it on the table.
Yes.
And, my job at that point is to provide the table, provide this unconditional, empty, loving space that just stays there. It belongs to you. It doesn't belong to me. I'm just there to provide that for you. I'm just a guide. I learned that it's not me to be like, you need to do this and you need to go here. If it doesn't come from you, it's not coming from your heart. If it's not coming from inside of you, it's not genuine. If it doesn't feel good, it doesn't get you out of bed, it's not your truth. So just being the guide of asking the right questions, jogging the right things. I had one woman that she was in tears. Her whole family is doctors, and she's like, I can't even look at the sight of blood, and they want me to be a doctor, and I don't know. And we went through a whole bunch of stuff to maybe becoming a country singer, or like doing all this like fun stuff that is like, I want to help people.
Sure.
And I want to be of healing, but I can't do that, and yes, that sounds like just like my story too, but at the same time, it didn't inflict my story on her. Yes. Hers was, I love music, and I love to greet people, and I love to, to just be able to be having fun. And somehow we got to country music, of like how it's family, and it's fun, and it could be everybody together. It's not necessarily so, I mean, I'm sure, yes, there's genres within country music, but as a whole, it brings people together.
Right. And
it brings you to keep that smile going and just keep it fun and light, and keep people engaged and loving. And, she was like, I would never think that, and I love to sing. And so, you never know what the avenue is. And I'm like, but that's just what we just talked about. That doesn't mean that that's what it is.
That's right. You still have to take that first step, right? Oftentimes I'll say that, the step from 0 to 1 is a lot easier than the step from 0 to 100. Right. So you've got to absolutely take that first step. And so when someone comes knocking on the door going, Debbie, I want to follow my dreams, but I don't know what they are. How do I figure that out? That's an important process that you go through to help them get there. is there a common kind of first step, or or maybe could you describe kind of what that looks like, those steps for individuals?
Sure. I mean, it's a lot more in depth to actually, I mean, yes, there are people that are like, I'm just going to dive in and go do it. But there's a lot of steps to follow that I feel, that's what I work on. I work with you one-on-one. I like to do the first step is to bring people together, as a first step. You don't, most of them will be from now on virtual, just because that I can get a broader audience. And
Sure,
I like that to take people from all over the country. But hey, if it's localized in one area, one community, one office, whatever, to just do an initial, what I call brainstorming session. So I'll explain to you what brainstorming looks like, kind of go through a generalization of, how to find your dreams. And once you kind of go through that and learn the seasons of a dream, learn what dream crushing looks like, then the next process from then on is you're just one-on-one. There will be avenues where we can meet as groups again, because it's fun to be like, well, where are you now? Like, have a little community going.
Comparing notes.
Yeah. Like, well, where did you go? Support each other. And then start your dream map. So take all these steps of, like I said, is this my truth? Does this feel good to me? There's lots of work that you need to do for yourself. So prayers and meditation on it, like what aspect of it gets you excited? What gets you out of bed? What makes you want to wake up at 3 a.m. and start jotting notes down? How do you avoid the dream crushers? How do you avoid your own walls and start mapping that out? So it's taking the dream from what it looks like to you now and going backwards and seeing if that going backwards really has validity to it of, I could see myself or I can't, because a lot of it, there are lulls in the project.
Sure, absolutely. I think, well, when you talk about lulls, I think I got the image of the hills and valleys, right? So there's going to be a high of the hills, and you're going to come down a little bit, and maybe you might dip down. But the key, and I oftentimes say this, the key is you don't stay there. Like, so if you experience these negative feelings, the doubt, the uncertainty, fear, whatever, that's okay, because that's part of the human experience to feel those things. But it's whether you choose to stay there in that situation or not. That's the difference maker, because the sooner you get out, the sooner things will get better.
Right. And that's why it's important at the beginning to learn the seasons of a dream. And I look at it as a dream cycle. So there are the highs and the lows. And then, so when you're getting to the low, know how to identify it and recognize it.
Yes.
And then be able to work outside of it. Be like, no, I got to change my pattern. Know how to get to those trigger places to get yourself out of it and get yourself back on the track, because there will be those highs and lows for sure.
I really find there's just great value in going through such exercises, because what oftentimes happens, Debbie, is you start to learn about yourself, things that you never thought were there, things that you never knew you had an interest in, that all of a sudden you're chasing after it. And so it's a bit of like a self-exploration, because that gives you the opportunity to really learn about yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the deeper you learn about yourself, your dream can change. So I don't ever expect people, the first dream that comes out of their mind, to be like, that's what it is. But when you dig in deep to yourself, you realize these avenues that you put on the shelf that you're like, I always wanted to explore how to do that. And then just say I want to learn ballroom dancing, like even just making the appointment, getting in the door, you'd be like, this was the dumbest idea ever, but you got in the door. And then you're like, but there's things that I liked. I liked wearing a big, fun, flashy dress, and, the fast moves and the music. And maybe it just means I should grab my girlfriends like every few weeks and we just go out dancing and get dressed up. That makes me happy. It's like, okay, well, hey, that's a huge piece of you notice something about yourself. You didn't sit
Yeah.
and stare at it and say, well, forget it. I never did that and never going to do it. You gave it a chance and you learned
Yes.
something. And then you learn a lot about your personality of
Yes.
why was I hesitant to walk in that door, or why did I run away, or why did I not give it my all, or why you learn how to ask all the whys in that process,
Yeah.
and how to really learn your truth. So what's the right answer? What's your answer from your heart? And what
Yes.
is your ego's answer, that negative, like, no, I don't want to do this.
Right. That battle between the ego and the heart, it's an ongoing one, right? Because they in their own way, they want the best for ourselves, but they have their own way of getting there. And sometimes that battle is difficult to watch or be a part of because you just don't know which way it'll go sometimes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You a couple of times you talk about following your heart, and I think that's again very much in line with what we're talking about here. I wonder if you sort of explain or maybe describe rather what does, when you say following her, what does that actually mean? Because it's not necessarily the commitment to the action, because it could just be being open-minded to other possibilities too, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I believe we're all here for a sole purpose, and we're all divinely made to be ourselves, not to be judged and not to be look like somebody else. And when you're following your heart, you're listening to what God gave you of, I brought you here to be a great dancer. I brought you here to skydive. I brought you here to make people smile. We're all here for good reasons. And once you take away all the negative and all the ugly that the world, throws at us all day, we have that place of, what is God really telling me? What did he put on my heart? And what am I doing to push it away? And what am I doing to bring it forward? So I feel like we're born with like a little tag, like, hi, this is Debbie, and she's brought here to be the dream pollinator. And it's like, I can't read that. So funny. You got to be creative on, how can I read what is written on my heart? Because I can't see it. So that's, I guess, part of the fun, right? He does have a sense of humor.
It's real. Yeah, that's right.
It is real. But, I look at it as he is just like this great coach of ours that's like, oh, come on, I'm rooting for you and I want the best for you. And hey, this is how you got to do it. And, get out there. And then, I look at our angels and saints and our loved ones that have passed on as our cheerleaders on the sidelines of like, come on, like, here, you need more water. Here, use more water. All right, come on, like, here's a towel, I feel like if you really look at it and you're like walking down your hallway in your house, and just if you could see all the cheerleaders, just like, come on, we're gonna do it today. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
And if you really keep imagining it, or whatever that looks like to you, you could start to hear it, and you could start to feel it, and you could see it.
Yes.
And I look at the first time I ever saw the Trolls movie, I was like kidnapped by my 4-year-old cousin, and I'm like, oh gosh, I can't watch this. But I was in a place of really just realizing this of angels, and I looked at them like all these colorful little things that are like, we just want to be happy all the time. And I look at that as, that's what my cheerleading team looks like, of just these little creatures that are lovable and just want everything the best for you and cheering you on. And everybody has their own team, and just recognize that, and they'll help you find what God put on your heart, and God will help you as well. So once you recognize that and just keep asking the questions, and you're always directed in the right way. There's no mistakes. You're just guided to take that detour.
Well, I oftentimes will say that we'll go through situations and it may not make sense in that moment, but at some point you can look back and you almost look like you can kind of see where all the dots connect. And you realize, I had to go here to go there to do this to get that, or I wouldn't be where I am right now.
Yes.
So
absolutely. Yeah. You're always just redirected. And they're always, I believe God's always like wait, no, go this way. Okay, great. I'm just gonna, all right, we'll try again. Come on, guys. It's like, let's get the team back over, get right back in front of her and be like, okay, no, go this way. So yeah, I mean, if I try to have fun with it and not be so serious about it. But if you just enjoy it, and when you hit have a bad day or hit that wall, just be like, well, I guess I missed the cheerleading brigade today. I mean, what happened to me? Where are you?
That is funny. Debbie, I wonder if you get you to talk about or maybe describe what it means when you say dream big. What does that look like?
Well, I think we put ourselves in limitations by just what we know, and we limit ourselves by, like I said, I went to a college that was like, mostly everybody became either a school teacher or an accountant. There's many other majors there. That was just like the majority at that time. And so there's a limit of, well, what's better, an accountant or a nurse? And it's like, no, I want to be an astronaut.
Right.
Like, okay, well, I can't, because this is my limitation and this is my two choices. And it's like, well, no, if you want to be an astronaut and that's your truth, that path will open for you. Right. So if that's like, this has been in my heart since I was a little kid, I never stopped caring about it. It's been in my heart. I do research on it all the time. What was your limit to not go for it? What was your limit to not be in school for it? What was your limit to just not be there? Why are you not working for NASA? So, dream big is, what is the biggest, most impossible dream that keeps coming to you that you are embarrassed by, and you keep saying, oh, no, I can't do that. I can't do that because I can't. Like, take out all the because, take out the I can't, and explore it. Maybe that person that wanted to be an astronaut's like, well, and in my 50s, and it feels pretty like impossible. I don't even think that's an astronaut. It's like, well, did you follow Elon Musk? I mean, he's sending people to the moon. I mean, there's projects getting regular people to the moon.
Yes.
There is jobs at NASA. There is jobs that work in that field. Yes. And just, if that's your dream, like, why are we not there? Why are we talking about you being the best accountant you could be?
Right.
That's not your dream. So don't limit yourself, and just dream as big as you can, because you have no idea how much is there.
No.
That is fruit of being like, all right, well, I'm just going to explore it. Well, look at how much is in there.
Yes.
That you could be a part of. I met somebody a few weeks ago that is selling space on the moon.
Okay. Wow.
Like real estate space on the moon.
Wow, that's
like
nice.
That was a joke how many years ago, but this is like, he's a legit business doing this.
That's right.
And now they're talking about Mars,
Yes, they are.
Sounds crazy, but it's happening.
It sounds like a big dream, if you ask me, right? It sounds like a big dream.
Yeah. So, I mean, dream the impossible, dream what's big. It was given to you not to be laughed at. It was given to you to explore it and to make it real for yourself.
Yes, absolutely. A couple of times I've heard you talk about the people around us, right? The ones that can either encourage us or discourage. Mm-hmm. And it's a bit of I say a little bit of a conundrum a little bit, because sometimes the opinion of others are valuable and important. And there's other times where, you don't want nothing to do with anybody because you're going to kill your dream or squash your vision, right? And so it seems to me that there's a fine line between striking that balance between where you're listening versus not listening, if you will, to others.
Yeah, so that's like the number one first thing that happens is, people come to me, they take my dream storming session and they're all gung-ho and this is great. I'm going to go be an astronaut. I'm going to go tell my family I'm leaving my job and it's going to be great. And it's like, no, you're not going to do that. It's a level of, you are on this high. You are in this place of like, I'm so excited and I'm gonna love it and I'm doing it and I'm doing it.
Yes.
And you go home to people that are like, I have no idea what you did today and where this is coming from. And this is like too much. So automatically there's a crush, right? Because there's your energy that's high and then there's everybody's energy that's here. So that's again, like bringing the level up of energy of what that looks like.
Yes.
So you have to condition people. Again, you have to bring people up to where you are. And just because you got excited today and it's part of where you are today, it's not necessarily where they are or that they're on board right away.
Right.
And that's fine. But if you just go home and say, I'm going to do this and it's going to be great, you're not really going to get a good reception right away. But there's a level of conditioning. So there's this level of, oh my gosh, I just had this great meeting. I'm so excited. And, you know, it's all about following your dreams. And I really do have dreams and I'm not ready to talk about it, but I'm excited. And, you know, we're going to put together a plan and we're going to make it happen. And once you have your plan together, that's when you really invite people into it. So when you have your plan and you're approach people of, okay, I need to sit down and talk to you. I went through this dream storming session. I'm working on this program to get to my dreams and what's in my heart. This isn't being an accountant is not in my heart, but I want to be an astronaut. I know that sounds crazy. This is what I need. This is what my plan is. And you go through like the overview of what it looks like.
Sure.
I understand you may not get it. And I understand that this sounds overwhelming to you, but I want you to be on my team. Gotcha. I want you to be part of my dream. And just meaning I need your support. I need you to believe in me. I need your help. And even if you're not, that's fine. That's fine.
Right.
And, I just, would ask for you to respect that this is what I'm doing. And it's not getting rid of people in your life. I mean, I'm not asking anybody to go home and get divorced.
You're not house cleaning yet.
No. But at the same time, if you're not living your true self and there's people in your life that are bringing you down, they're going to keep you down. So if there is friends and family and spouses that you're not on the same page,
right?
That's
okay.
It's okay. Because if you're living your true self and they don't want to be there, you'll find other people in your true self.
Right.
You'll find the right people. And we all make a mistake, and sometimes there's people that are in our life that we've known our whole life. And, you're not going to get rid of them, but, I'm over here. And if you want to come over here, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Really, honestly, if you're living your true self, people are proud of you and excited for you and they want to be on board. And then they get excited for their own dreams and want to be on board and be there.
Yeah.
So it is a very healthy, contagious cycle.
Yes.
And if you look at it that way, instead of like, I'm cutting all these people out of my life, it's not like that. It's, hey, okay, I see the effect of people get challenged of, wow, you're doing it and I'm not. And a lot of it is the fear of, well, I need you to be with me because I'm afraid to do that. Instead of I want to help you and I want to do it too. Right. So you find where the levels of people are, but most people will stick with you and really want to help you achieve it and get you there.
Yeah, no, and that's so awesome. The importance of being able to distinguish, because there's dream killers out there, right? And they're as much as you might think they're supporting your vision and supporting your dream and supporting what you're after, that's not always the case. And so being able to make the distinction between, is this a dream killer or is this a supporter? I think that's an important thing to be able to do, because that will help guide and frame everything else after that. Yeah.
Then your first line of defense. Like if there's someone that's like, I don't want any part of it. And I just always look at it like a grumpy old grandpa of like, no, like the guy on the couch from like bad 80s sitcoms and stuff, being like, no, I don't want to, like, you're not going to be the first person I'm going to go to when I need support and,
sure.
Having a bad day. I'm going to go to the people that are on board. You might figure it out and whatever, but you know who your first line of defense is when you're in those moments of, I really need my support team right now.
Yeah. No, that's so awesome. So awesome. I mean, I think for me, I think the part, and I know I touched on the top about being audacious, right, to go after those dreams. I really, that to me is a foundation. Although what we're talking about right now, it goes right back to, being bold enough to go out and do what go out and chase your dream. But the part, Debbie, for me that I find super inspiring and super impactful is that the dreams are meant for us. That's what we were supposed to do, right? So by me doing what I'm supposed to do, I can have a profound impact on other people because they're watching me and getting the same source of inspiration about their own dreams. And so as much as in the moment we're doing it for us, maybe we think we are doing it for ourselves, we're also actually helping others at the same time.
Yes, that's the part. It's just that contagious cycle of beauty. So it's like, I can do it. That means if you're connected with me, you're on my team, you're next, like
Yes.
or right beside me, that's
Yes.
your choice. Like let's just grow everybody. Let's get everybody to their highest potential. Let's put everybody on a pedestal. Let's do it.
Awesome. Debbie, this has been such a great chat. And I just love the idea of helping people meet their dreams. I mean, that's just, I think I realize it's a very simplified way of saying it, right? I just help people get their dreams, but it's a powerful statement. So congratulations. First off, congratulations for you going after your own dreams, right? Recognizing that it wasn't in the corporate world and you were meant for elsewhere, and you're doing that. And again, the impact you're having on others is just outstanding. So I wanted to congratulate you on all your work. For our listeners who are checking out the conversation and appreciate what we're hearing and want to learn more about you, where can we send them, Debbie?
Yes. So you can follow me on social media. I'm on basically every platform. My tag name is Debby Kruz. So it's DebbyKrusz. And my website is the same, debbykruz.com, DebbyKrusz.com. I would love to offer your listeners a free 15-minute consultation on their dreams, and also a downloadable version of my last novel, Soul Meets Body.
Awesome. Well, we'll make sure to include those details in the show notes, and we'll put that out there. And absolutely. So thank you for that. We appreciate that. And thanks for being here, Debbie. It's been awesome for sharing and a great chat. So I thank you. Appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you too. And keep smiling.
Absolutely will.
It makes the world go round. I love it.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Back, we are here on the podcast, and first and foremost, really got to send out my thanks and appreciation to Debbie for being here and really impressing upon us the importance of dreaming and inspiring us to dream big. And then, it's one thing to dream, but then to go after that. And, when we bring each other up, we all benefit and flourish because we're creating so much positive energy, which can have profound impacts on all of us. So again, encouraging people to dream and live beyond and think beyond with their present circumstance is so inspiring in so many ways. Be sure to check out Debbie's website at debbykruszewski.com, certainly for more information. When I think back to my conversation with Debbie, she really left us with a lot of great points, but if there's just one thing I take from my chat with her, it would be this. When you follow your heart's desire and dare to dream big, you're taking an active role in your life. Those who consciously dream big and a world where anything is possible, they're prepared to take whatever necessary action to make that happen. As you consciously make an effort to set goals and achieve them, you're enriching your own life's experiences. Dreaming big is about pushing yourself to be the best person you can be, because you know that there's more out there for you if you're willing to put in the work, even when it seems impossible. Hey, listen, if you haven't registered for email notifications of the podcast, please know that you can do so simply by heading over to bestaudaciouslife.com and entering your email address, and you'll be alerted every time we got brand new content that comes out. We've sadly reached the end of another edition of the Audacious Living Podcast, and always I got to send out a shout out and love to our big time supporters and all those lovers of audaciousness. It's you that keeps this thing going, and I want to take this opportunity to thank you. If you're watching or listening on your favorite podcasting platform, I'd encourage you to leave a review, comment. 5 stars would be fantastic, and let us know how much you appreciate the content that we're bringing you. Until next time, stay safe, be kind, show love to one another, and be audacious.
You've been listening to the Audacious Living Podcast, hosted by Audley Stevenson. If you enjoyed what you heard, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, be audacious.